Good evening, Littleton, and welcome to the Select Board meeting for Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. This is an off-cycle board meeting that we are hosting this evening. We will be back to our regularly scheduled Select Board meeting next Monday. But to begin tonight's meeting, we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's meeting is going to begin with an approval of amended language for House Bill 4865, an act establishing the Littleton Common Sewer District in the town of Littleton, and that will be followed by an executive session meeting. We're going to have a joint meeting with the Light and Water Commissioners pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21, to discuss litigation strategy with respect to Wickham Avenue. Following that meeting, the board will not be entering into open session thereafter, and we will going to adjourn immediately, and we will be back next week. So to begin tonight's first agenda item, Mr. Layden, do you want to lead us into this? I guess there's been some slight revisions to this document.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. On Friday was notified by our representatives that there was yet another amendment to Bill H. 4865, which is the Littleton Smart Sewer legislation. As the board may recall, was in the middle of October that it was on the governor's desk for signature. The governor wanted, the governor's office wanted a fairly small addition made. We held a quick meeting to approve that change and sent a approval letter off to our legislators in order to make sure we could keep that legislation process moving. Friday late afternoon received an email saying that there was additional language. Received that forwarded additional language that, yesterday and provided that as track changes to the board. In taking a look at it, town council also identified that he had no issue with it. While they said in the email that it contains some substantive language, it pretty much to me looks like it is basically just word choice, some stylistic edits, that there is really nothing of substance. Have a motion basically recommending approval of the amended language. As before, I'll draft up a letter for the town clerk to then sign so we can get it out to Senator Eldridge and Representative Arciero as quickly as possible. Because this came up last minute, not knowing exactly how much longer the legislature will stay in session, didn't want to wait until Monday's meeting to have the board consider this.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there any questions or comments from the board on this?
I have the motion handy, Madam Chair, if you're ready for it.
Okay, is there any questions or comments from the board on this? Okay. All right, sure, we're ready for a motion, please.
Okay, trying to multitask on my phone here. Move the board vote to approve the amended language for H 4865 as requested by the Senate.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Roll call vote, Mr. Knox?
Aye.
Mr. DeCoste? Aye. Mr. Nordhaus?
Aye.
Mr. Glavy?
Aye.
And Cindy Napoli is aye, so the amendments are approved as written. Great, thank you. So now we are on to, we're going to enter it into an executive session for our joint meeting with the Light and Water Commissioners. So do we have a motion prepared to do that?
I don't have one in front of me, Joe. Do you have one you can paste? Post, rather?
I got it.
Chuck's got it.
Okay, great.
Move the Select Board go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares, and not to reconvene in open session.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, and the chair does so declare to enter into executive session for this purpose. So all those in favor, Mr. Knox?
Aye.
Mr. DePost?
Aye.
Mr. Nordhaus?
Aye.
Mr. Glavy?
Aye, but I'll just make a note that I will probably not be able to stay on the call for the executive session, so have a good evening, and I'll look for an update.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
And the chair, Cindy Napoli, is aye, so we will now convene into executive session, and we will not be convening into open session thereafter. We will be back for our regularly scheduled meeting next Monday. Good night. Thank you.